So by living in Europe for a very long time, yes, there are certain things you'll be coping to the lifestyle. So what we say, the reverse culture shock, because we talk about the culture shock coming to America, going to Sweden, going to Belgium, going to other countries, what are our culture shock? But what is the reverse cultural shock after maybe spending maybe 5 years straight, you haven't gone there, and you go to Kenya, to go to Tanzania, you go to Uganda, you go back to Madagascar, you go to whatever country. How does it become to cope back? Even if it is for a month, how is it for your situation?
That's a very good question. Like for me, like my first trip on going back to Africa, I was so excited. I wanted to meet with a lot of my childhood friends. So I was in Rwanda and they were in Kenya.
Yeah.
So I make up plans with them. I say on this day I will be in Nairobi and I will be there for like 3 days and then go back to Rwanda.
Yeah.
So I go to Nairobi. Everybody had an excuse, and I was going there to just meet them. I had the plan week two. I never met any of them.
Uh-oh.
So imagine, yes, I did visit Kenya a little bit, but imagine like not valuing someone's time and money,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, time.
Yeah.
Brenda, what was
So like Coach Remy was just saying time. Like what I find, like what kind of like gets me so annoyed with when I go back home is people don't appreciate time. They don't respect time. So if they say, okay, I'm like, we're meeting at 10 a.m., I'm there by 10 a.m. Like I'm actually there by like 9:45, 9:50. If I'm not there, I'll communicate. But this is like something that back home, I find like all my friends don't do that. I'm like, I've been here for an hour. Where are you? Like, oh my gosh, I got caught up here and there. Okay, you could have just sent me a text. And I could have been doing something else. I could have been shopping or doing something else. So it's like respecting people's time. And some of them, it's just the culture. They don't do it to you on purpose, but it's just the culture. And then also, I find things, you know, like some of the things I've learned to live with. So my expectations go down. Like the moment I'm there for like a week, my expectations go down of people. Like, oh yeah, things like walking very slow, like on the streets. People are like, my friends are like, Brenda, where are you rushing to? I'm like, what?
No hurry in Africa.
I'm like, let's go. So like, we go. And then they're all like 5 feet behind me. I'm like, what are you guys doing? They're like holding hands, you know, walking like this. They're like so at peace, you know? Like, I'm like, how do you do that? So, but then like, I was like, okay, I lower my expectation and go back to their standard of how they do things. Because otherwise you end up getting frustrated. Then you go to places like customer care.
Oh, that is...
Oh, Jesus Christ. You go to like a restaurant, you sit there for 30 minutes, a person shows up, and they're like, what do you want? I'm like, what? What do I want? So I'm like, I'm like so mad, but then again, I lower my expectation level quickly. I'm like, okay. So, but it's like those things that catch you off guard sometimes, or even like relatives, like whereby people expect you to be giving them money. Like when I go, I'm like, okay, I've gone for like a little vacation.
Yeah.
But everybody's expecting you to be the one to pay for their stuff. My friends now don't allow me to pay, but my family is expecting me to pay. I'm like, you guys even make more money than I do, you know. But why are you taking me to Sheraton and then at the end you want me to pay the bill? I'm like, I'm supposed to be relaxing, also enjoying my time. You guys are supposed to be taking care of me. So those are the things that, you know, of course, and then the chaos if you're in the city, you know, you add, like the moment you get to Kampala, like the heat, the dust, you know, immediately. But again, you're like, I can't breathe, you know? But then you lower your standard again, you're like, I'm back home, this is what it is. I just have to just mingle and be just like my people immediately. So even my kids, when I took my son, we went to the villages and went to see the cows and the chicken, just things around. I'm like, this is what it is, you know. So you have to adjust with the atmosphere.
Yeah. So on my end, there are a couple of things. I mean, there are a lot basically, but there are certain things usual. Number one, for instance, about food. I don't want to go and eat most of the Western food because I've eaten all of these one here already, which are bad. I want to eat the natural food.
Yeah.
Like I remember somebody. So nowadays I came to realize if you invite me to your home, I tell you the truth, please don't make this food. I prefer 1, 2, 3 if it's possible. But for them, sometimes I say it's not disrespecting you. But one day I went there and they put macaroni and cheese. Why are you cooking macaroni and cheese for me? First of all, I don't eat macaroni and cheese at all. Even in America, I don't eat. It's just like I go there, you give me pizza. I don't eat at all. But even if I'm eating, that is a normal food in America. It's not a fancy food. So one person I say, okay, I'm coming to your house. I want to make it was cow's intestines and ugali. That's what I want, and make you with the veggies in chicha. That's what I want. But this is low quality. No, I don't care. This is what I want to eat. You want me to be your guest? That's what I need. So now, because I got confused all the time, wherever I go, someone is going to get the broiler chicken and deep fries. Man, I ate a lot of those in America already, which are poor. I eat because they're cheaper. Now I come here. If I have to eat chicken, slaughtered chicken, I can see that chicken. So there are certain things like when it comes to food. Customer service usual is so upsetting. So one of the things usual, like I say, whatever I'm getting to the last flight going to Tanzania or to Kenya, that is the time I put a blank, like, okay, these are the values I have to let them go completely. Yeah. Because one time, like, I was so upset, like, I stayed for 45 minutes. You are waiting and someone doesn't come there. And it's coming, it's just like, really? But in Kenya, I have a good experience, especially Nairobi. Nairobi, a little bit of Rwanda, but Nairobi in East Africa, in my opinion, are the best in customer service because of the higher level of capitalism in East Africa. So they know if you don't do the good customer service, they go, but it still is African, but they are very good in customer service than in Tanzania. If you want to go away. They don't care. Yeah, so those are the things. Like, so nowadays, like, if I have an appointment with someone, I don't want to put like the end time, because if we say, okay, this is 1 hour meeting, someone coming maybe 30 minutes after, and it's just, you start talking other thing. Oh, how was the other? How about your chicken? Before the issue itself. So nowadays, like, when I got somewhere, like this appointment, I have to interview someone or to do something, I put a blank, I'll be having 4 hours just in case. Or 3 hours, if it's appointment for an hour, just in case. The thing which I don't like mostly is the one when you go to any office, you have to start explaining even what you want to do to meet the boss. Like, why should I tell you, the secretary, what I'm going to talk to the boss? You're not the boss. If you want me to explain every single thing, I'm going to talk to the boss. Why are you not the boss? So it's just appointment. Yes, I have appointment. Yes, is the person in? He said, what do you want to talk? Can you tell me first? You are not the manager, so just do your job. Let me know if I can. So that is the thing, like usual. I'm getting upset usual, but overall, the no hurry in Africa. When I go to the last flight, I'm just taking that one so that I can enjoy. I don't have to have any stress. Then I enjoy. And when I'm coming back from the airport, I'm getting to now I'm coming back to the normal. Like one time I was in Nairobi, and there is one guy, we are in the line, and he just did the African thing, like crossing over almost all people. Like, so there are white people, they felt bad, they didn't want to tell the guy, say, no, go back. So they say, yeah, even if we're upset, but we feel bad to tell the person to go, because when you are white, you cannot yell to a black person in their own country. I say, no, like, we are all in the line, we are all going to the same plane. Why are you? So there are certain things like, yeah, so it's very interesting.
Yeah, that's
This is Africa says, just 2 days ago, I walked into KFC in Southfield Mall in Nairobi to look at the menu. I was about to vomit and walked out because I remember how awful American food tastes. Eat the African way. Yeah. That's the best thing, like when I'm excited, like going to Africa, is just the food. I can eat the fruits every single day, fresh. I can eat the cow slaughtered today. That is the best part. I don't like when, especially the Western flight, the last version, like when you are going to maybe to East Africa, they give you pizza. Like give me rice, give me chicken, give me like Emirates. They give ugali even. They started ugali.
They did? Wow.
So yeah, they are smart.
That I would eat. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't cook for you, girl. Yeah, so he wanted to eat the yeah. So those are the few things. Yeah, it's very interesting to go to have the reverse cultural shock. Yeah.